Okay,
Yeah,
so we'll start with some basic, okay, in this video.
sure. Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So first thing first, right? What is SQL, right? And
Mm,
so what is SQL? Then why SQL,
mm,
right? And what are the job opportunities?
yeah.
Job opportunities for SQL. Okay. So very simple. So SQL is SQL stand for first thing. It's a structured query language. Okay. Or you can
Yeah.
call it as a programming language as well. Okay. And what is the purpose of this language? Is just to communicate with RDBMS. Okay. So what
Mm,
stands for RDBMS? It's a relational database management system. Okay.
yeah.
So what is a relational data? We'll understand first what is the relational database management system, and then we'll start with SQL. So SQL is a language to communicate with your relational database management system. Okay, and why
Mm,
we need the relational database management system, that we'll understand. Okay, so before we
yeah.
understand about the relational database management system, let's understand what is the database management system. So it's simply managing the data, right? So
Mm,
let's say in a traditional way, they used to store in a notebook, right? Or the customer
yeah.
information, what they sell, what order they have to make. So these
Mm,
things they keep in notes, right? In a traditional way, they keep in the
yeah.
notebooks actually. But it's very
Yeah.
difficult to manage them. It's to do the tally, to find out. Let's
Mm,
say I want to find the data of one customers from last 10 years, right? So it's very difficult to go and find in the notebooks, right? So again, it's a time consuming, right?
yeah.
So this was the traditional way, right? But then this is the traditional way to solve this problem. Okay, that relational database management systems come into the focus. Okay, so that SQL is the language. Okay, so using
Mm,
this language, you can create your relational database.
mm,
Okay, and it will be very easy for let's say to figure out all the data. So
mm,
now we'll understand what is the relational database management system. Okay, so
yeah.
relational database management system, so it's nothing but a database. It is again our database, but which is there is a relations between them. Okay, so using
Mm,
some SQL logic, some SQL constants, we do relations between them, like, right,
yeah.
primary key, foreign key, some identity column, that we'll understand in detail. But for
Mm,
now, just understand this is just the database. Okay, so on high level, it's a database, and there is relations between them. Okay, so in database there is tables. Okay, and these tables, there is a relation
yeah.
between these tables. Okay, so
Mm,
let's say when I'm saying tables, okay, so when I'm saying tables, so let's say if you are considering the Amazon as a real-time application, so customer, right? So I want to
yeah.
store the data of the customer. So I will create one customer table in my database, and I will store all that information. So that is customer. Okay, so in technical term, we'll call this customer as a table. Okay,
Table.
but functionally what we'll call that customer as object, or sometimes
Yeah.
entity.
Mm,
Okay, in
yeah.
functional way we'll call it as a object or entity. Okay,
Entity. Yeah.
right. Now what are the properties for that object, entity, or table? So going forward, maybe I'll call it as object or table or
Okay.
entity,
Yeah.
but it will be the remain same.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for this table, object, or entity, there are some attributes, right? So what are the
Yeah.
attributes? Let's say customer, let's say Suma, Nike is first customers. Okay,
Yeah.
so so what are the properties for this, right? First name,
Mm,
right? Last name, email, contact details, address. These are my properties, right? For these objects, for this entity, for this customer, these are my entities, these are my properties. So these properties are nothing but, okay, so attributes in functional way, but we will call them as a column in technical way,
okay. Yeah.
right? Now I'm going to store the information of the customers, right? Store information.
Yeah.
Now let's say this is my database, this is my table. In table, This is my customer table, and in customer table, these are my columns, and I'm going to store the informations now, right? So I'm
Yeah.
going to store the actual information of Suma, let's say.
Yeah.
So all these details is nothing but a row. Okay, so we'll call
Yeah.
it as a row, or we'll call it as information. Got it? So
Yeah.
far,
Yeah. Got it.
so clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now this is my database, this is my table, this is my attributes or columns, and this is my table. That's it. If you understand this, this is more than enough to, and this is now I'm saying it's a relational database management system, right? So now what I'm saying, this is my first table. The same way, let's say I have one more table. Okay, that is order detail.
Yeah.
Order detail. Now, what are the attributes? What are the attributes for this order detail?
Order ID.
Correct.
Order. Like, what all we get in order details?
Yeah,
Order
order.
ID.
One of the most important factors is that who did this order, right? So customer
Yeah.
ID.
Customer ID.
Yeah.
Uh,
Then your product name, right?
Product name.
What date you ordered, right?
Yeah.
Order date. Then amount maybe, and then let's say
Yeah.
last one is a ship.
Shipping.
Yeah, it's ship, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are my attributes for orders. Now in this, I'm going to store all the details, but along with the customer ID. That customer ID, let's say the customer ID one is unique for Suma, Nike.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to store that customer ID here. Okay, in this here, and this table will help me to find out all the orders made by customer one, that is Suma. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is how we are going to maintain the relationship between customer and order details, right? So this is how we store the relationship. So that's why
Yeah.
it's called as a relational database management system. Now how we are going to store, how we are going to make that a relation, so using foreign key, primary key and foreign key. Okay, so if I put a primary key for this in customer table, let's say I'm adding primary key for customer, and I'm adding the foreign key in for customer ID in the order details.
Yeah.
That means I can add the customer which is available in the customer table. So this is how we are going to add the relationship between the customer and the order details tables, and that's why it's called as a relational database management system. Got it?
Yeah. 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 Got it.
Okay. Now, so how it is useful, right? Now, how it is useful that relational RDMS and the SQL, how it is useful over the traditional way to store the informations, right? On that database
Yeah.
management system. So let's take the example of Amazon now, right? And now Amazon want to find out the behavior of the buying behavior of the Suma. So
Yeah.
Amazon can take the last maybe 5 years, 3 years, or 5 years, or maybe 10 years data. Okay, and they can easily figure out, and they will do some select statement, some queries on the customer tables, order details tables, and they will easily figure out what is the buying behavior of the Suma, the specific customers. Or they maybe find the buying behavior of, let's say we have added, let's say if I am adding city as well here. Okay, address, in address if I'm adding city, so it is very easy for Amazon to find out the buying behavior of the cities. Let's say what products are best selling in Pune, what products are best seller in Bangalore or in Mumbai. Okay, so this all things they can figure out with single query, right? They don't have to wait, so in traditional way it's a notebook, right? So it's time consuming and lot of stuff. But in relational database management system, it is just matter of executing one query, and maybe just in 5 to 10 seconds I'll get all the results, right? So
Yeah.
this will help businesses. Okay, this will help businesses to take a decision, to sell more products, right? To do simply to do more business, and
Yeah.
right, and to make more profit. That's it, right?
Okay.
So this is what all purpose of SQL. Okay, so and that relational database management system. So SQL will help you, to create and maintain all that relational database management system.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we'll go and do some practical things. Okay, so first we said,
Sure.
right, that SQL will help you to create a relational database management system and maintain. So first step is to create a database, right? So we'll
Okay.
go here, and this is we can do practically, we can do using the interface as well. Let right click is clear and then click here and new databases. So it will help me to create the database. But
Yeah.
considering the long journey, we'll do everything by code, and this is what they will ask in the interview, right? So we'll try
Yeah.
to do all 99% things with the SQL code, so that it will be easy to do practice, and it will give you the more confidence if you do practically. Okay,
Yeah.
so first thing first, right? So we are going to do a database. So what is the syntax for this? Is that create no, first database, right?
So,
So create database. Let's say I'm calling this as Amazon. I have already two databases here, so I will call it as Amazon DB one. Okay, because one already available, so I'm calling this as Amazon DB one. Okay, if I execute this, it will say this database is already exist. Okay, so
it
that's why,
is.
yeah. So I'm giving one and I'm creating this. Okay,
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Now just go to the database tab here, just refresh it here. Okay, and then go to here, and you should get that Amazon DB1. Okay,
Yeah.
now if you click here, by default it creates all the stuff, right? The
Yeah.
tables, views, external resources, synonyms, programmability, and query store, and so many things. So we'll learn everything in detail, but considering the level one, we'll go with some basic things only. Okay,
Yeah.
and we'll learn each and everything step by step. So now it's a table, so just click on the tables. So it's expanding, and you can see these are some system tables, some file tables. So but these are the system defined tables and the folders. Okay,
Yeah.
now what we have to do, what is our next step? Once we create the database, we have to create tables, right?
Tables.
So we are going to create two tables. One is customer and one is order details. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so now my customer database is created, right? So
Yeah.
just click on tables, control N, and it will open the new query window. Okay,
Yeah.
now the syntax to create a table is create table name is my customer. Okay,
Yeah.
now tell me the properties.
Customer ID.
Customer ID and the,
Customer.
yeah,
It will be int.
correct. I'm giving the data type as int. Okay,
Yeah. Customer name.
okay, so
It
we'll
will
give
be
the
var. Yeah.
varchar. Okay, we'll give the, this is the size. Okay, 100 or 200 you
100.
can,
Yeah.
right? So this is my customer name. You have to give the comma here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm giving comma here. So then
A customer. Sorry. Email ID
correct, email ID again I'm giving
will be
varchar.
var. Yeah.
Okay,
Customer address.
correct,
It will be again varchar 500.
right,
Yeah. And mobile number.
right. That will be integer, correct. Because it's a number,
Yeah.
right? Now
Is there any rule that we have to start with capital letters only, or there's no rules like that, right?
yeah, really good question. Okay, Suma. So
Yeah.
these are the machine keywords, right? That's why
Uh,
it's showing in green. But as a per the Microsoft standard, no, you have to keep this keyword as capital. Okay, so that
okay.
shows your proficiency, and
Yeah, yeah.
that is the standard. Okay, so shortcut for is that Control Shift and U. That will be that will create. Let's say this is create. Just select this Control Shift and U, so it will make it capital. Okay, so let's go and execute this command. Okay, so it will command is completed successfully. Okay,
Mm.
now again go to the tables and just do refresh. You will get this table here, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Now We have to create one more tables, right? Now, what is the second task? We have created tables. Now we have created a customer tables. Now we have to create order details table, right?
Yeah.
So tell me the syntax.
Create order details table. Create table order details.
Correct.
Yeah. Order ID.
Correct. I'm giving order details ID integer. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Product name.
okay.
Customer. We
Okay. No
product
problem.
name. It
Hmm,
will be varchar. Varchar. Yeah.
correct.
Customer name also do we add? I'm not sure.
Customer name not need to add because it will be duplicate, right? But I want to make some relations between the customer and order details. How I will identify key, which customer ordered what items, right? So how I can find in this order details table? So I need some pointers, some relations between the customer and order details, right?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
want some relations. So what I will do, I will this customer ID, right? I will copy this and I will put here. So this column will help me to understand which customer ordered what items, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So for this customer tables, we will enter one first customer. Let's say we'll add Suma Naik. So and the customer
Yeah.
ID is one. So in order
Yeah.
details, we will for this customer ID we will add as a one. So that will help me to understand who is that customer
Hmm.
ID one, the Suma. Who is customer
Yeah.
two, Kiran. Who is customer three, let's say Sunil. Okay, so this
Yeah.
is how we can identify. Okay,
Okay.
so this is my customer ID, and then
Order date.
correct order date, and for this data type is date time. Okay,
Okay.
next.
Shipped.
Yeah, shipped or not, right? Yeah, for this we'll give the bit. Okay, that means 1 or 0. Okay,
Okay.
it will show 1 or 0. By default it will be 0.
Okay.
Okay, and product name, customer ID, order date, and shipped. That's it. And we can add one more thing about amount, total amount. Okay, integer. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me go and execute this. Now another order detail table is also created. Okay, so
Okay.
now let me refresh, and if I go here, I should see that order detail tables as well.
Order detail. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So now we have created two tables. Okay,
Hmm.
so we have created database, we have created tables, we have added these columns, attributes for these tables. Now if I go here and if I do a select star from
Okay.
customer, right? And if I execute this, I will not get any data, right?
Yeah.
Because we have created only schema,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? So let me execute this. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can see that this is order details as well there, but there is no data. So just imagine in a real time. Okay, this is the Amazon database, let's say customer tables and then order details tables. This website is launched today and you are the first customers that you are going there and log into the Amazon website. So once you log into the Amazon website, it will ask you for the registration, right? Email ID, mobile number, your address,
Mhm.
and it will insert into this customer table. Okay,
Hmm.
so let's try. Imagine that you are logging to Amazon. Okay, so we'll add some data into that. Okay, insert into table name. This is the syntax to add data into the customer table. Okay, insert
Yeah.
into customers, and this is the best practice that you have to follow, that you have to give all the column names. Okay, so I'm giving here the customer ID. Okay, customer name, email ID, customer address and mobile number. Okay, so I have to pass these values, right? So just imagine from the Amazon applications, when you are
Hmm.
entering your details, that details goes and store into this table. Okay, so for this, my syntax is values. Okay,
Hmm.
and just here is the bracket. So let's say give me customer ID as 1. Okay, let me give the customer name as Suma Naik. Okay, let me add the mail ID. So it is in single quote because it's a character, right? So that's why it's a Suma one two
Yeah.
three four. Okay, at the rate gmail.com. Let me give your address. So I have to give the comma, and again customer address, it is in single quotes. Okay, so I will give
Yeah.
Bangalore. Okay, and
Okay.
again it's a mobile number, so I just have to put 1 2 3 4
Yeah.
5 1 2 3 4 5, and we are done. Okay,
Yeah.
now if I do and execute this, my first record is get inserted into that.
Hmm.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now if I want to add more records, what I can do is that I will do this as a 2. Okay, let me add Kiran Pawar. Okay,
Yeah.
let me do KP. Let me do Pune here. Okay, let me change mobile number. First character 1 2, maybe something like this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And if I execute this, now 2 customers are there, right? If I do a select star from customers, I should get how many records?
Uh, Two? No, one.
1. Why?
No, already one was there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. Select star from customers because we already added 1 customer. Then again, we added the second customers, right? So if I
Yeah.
go and do a select star from customers, definitely I will get all the records.
All the
Okay.
records. Yeah.
Yeah. So this will give you the all the records when I do a select star. Star means, okay, these are star means all columns. Okay. You'll get all the
Okay.
columns. And from
Okay. Yeah.
customer table means it will give all the records from this database, from this, sorry, from this table. Okay,
Yeah.
because I haven't added any where conditions. Now let me teach you the where condition as well. Okay, so now if I go here and I where, let's say I'm adding a customer ID
Yeah.
equal to 1. So how many
Hmm.
records it will give in this case?
It will give only one.
Correct. So now because I have filtered this data now, right? So when I'm
Okay.
adding the where conditions, it will filter the data based on the where conditions, right? So that's why it's given
Yeah.
me the 2. It given me the 1. Okay, I can
Hmm.
do again on customer name as well, right? So if I do here customer ID 2, I will get the this record,
One.
Kiran
Yeah.
Power record, right? Yeah, 1. Again, I can do filter on any from any or any column. Okay, customer name,
Hmm.
email ID, or customer address, mobile number, something like that. So I can do based on, let's say, on customer name as well. Okay, so customer
Yeah.
name equal to, let's say, if I'm adding Kiran Power, I should get all these records again related to the Kiran, right?
Yeah.
So when you do a star, that means I will get all the columns, all the
Okay.
attributes. And when I'm doing
Okay.
from select star from customers, it will give me the all records and all columns.
Okay.
Okay, all records. And star means, sorry, star means all columns.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want a specific column. So what should I do? Customer, you have to specify explicitly. Okay. Let me add customer ID and customer name. And I don't want to show email or maybe customer address and the mobile number. These are the confidential. I just want to show the customer ID and customer name. So I can take only 2 columns, okay, from the database. And if I execute this, I will get only 2 columns because I
Okay.
selected only 2 columns, right? Not star. So I
Yeah.
got only 2 columns, all the records from this database, sorry, from this table, but the column is only 2 because I selected
Yeah.
only 2 columns. So you can filter on 2 things. One is for columns and one is for data level. So
Yeah.
if you want to filter on data level, you have to add the where condition. If you
Okay.
want specific columns, you have to mention column here. Okay. Otherwise, if you give the star, it will take all the records. select star from customer, all records, all columns. Clear?
Yeah.
Good. Now let me go here and now let's do some shopping. Okay. Now let's say Suma is logged to the Amazon applications. Now she's going to order few things, right? So for when she will order something, the record will go into this table, right? Order
Yeah.
detail. So let me add code for this, insert into order detail,
Yeah.
and I have to take all these columns, right? So customer order detail ID, product name, customer ID, order date, ship. Now you have to tell me the data for this, okay? And
Yeah.
I'm adding as amount. Okay, now values.
Order detail ID will be 1.
Correct.
Product name will be chair. Okay.
Okay,
Again, customer ID will be 1.
correct. That is more important.
Order,
Yeah.
order date will be today's date. No,
Okay.
like 2 days before.
Okay, no problem.
Two, yeah, two
So
seven.
yeah, so for this I will tell you one thing. Okay, if I go as
Yeah.
select and get date, so this is the function available in the SQL. Okay, so if I go and do a select get date, I'll get the today's date. Okay, and date and time.
Okay.
So what we'll do,
Mm.
just get date -2. It will give me the 2 days back,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So we'll add get date -2.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and
And
shipped is
shift is
by
today's
default.
date.
Okay, so a shift is okay. So shift is bit actually. That means is it shipped or not?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's yes. No, okay. I thought the
Yeah,
date.
no problem, no problem. Shift it yes or no. So we can
Okay,
keep it as
okay.
yes or no. Or maybe we can
Yeah.
keep it as a ship today. Okay, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, maybe in futures we'll modify this table and we'll add few more details, right? Ship date.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now and uh, one more is the amount, right?
Yeah.
Amount, what amount should I
Ma-
add?
1,000.
1,000. Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Good. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and let me insert. Perfect, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more shopping item for you. Now tell me what should be the value here.
Order detail ID 2.
Correct.
Uh, this we can just keep as book. Book.
Okay, good.
Uh, ID will be the same.
Perfect.
Yeah, these all things we can keep same, and amount we can just change like 500 or 400.
Okay,
Yeah,
ठीक.
yeah,
Let me insert this. Great, sounds good. Okay,
yeah,
let me add one thing for me. Okay, so
yeah.
let's add one for customer ID. Kiran, now tell me the first two column. What will be this order detail ID?
It will be 3,
Correct. Okay,
but customer ID will be 2.
absolutely perfect, right?
Yeah,
And let me add here a laptop, maybe. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
adding get date -5, and
Fine. Yeah,
yeah, and wait, let me add maybe 40,000. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
and let me insert this. Sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Now let's go and do a select star from
Order
order
detail.
detail is already available here, right?
Yeah,
Perfect. Mm, That's great. Now this is a customer. There are the two customer, right? One is Sumana X, second is Kiran Power, and you can see there the customer IDs 1, 1, and 2. So this
Yeah.
table will help me to understand. Yeah. So the customer ID one ordered 2 times, right? And this is the order
Mm.
date. This is the amount. So I can see everything, every detail about this customer. I can see for this customer two, the Kiran Power, how many times he
Yeah.
ordered, right? So
Mm.
this is how the relational database management systems help us to find out all the data. So just
Yeah.
imagine you can do a Google search, okay, how many orders every single day Amazon is handling. So just
Mm.
imagine all this data, maybe thousands and millions of customer are stored there, right, in databases and their orders. So based on this, Amazon is going to figure out the best selling product for today, best selling product in particular
So,
city, what customers are, which customers are ordering what. So all buying behavior is
do
trying
they
to understand.
manually write it like how we are writing now? Do they write manually like
No,
into?
no, 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 absolutely not. A really good question. Okay,
Yeah.
again, a really good question. So let's see. I will tell you
Yeah.
one thing. Okay, so this is the Amazon applications, right? So if you go and open the
Yeah.
Amazon application, so this is the web page, right?
Hmm.
Right. So this is the web page.
Yeah.
So this is the web page. Okay. So this and there's form, right? That you have to
Hmm.
enter your mobile number. Then you have to enter your email address,
Yeah. Yeah.
your customer name,
Hmm.
first name. So these are the form, right? Let's
Yeah.
say this is the name, customer name. So this is the form available on your
Hmm.
application. So when you enter the details right here, whatever your
Hmm.
details, when you enter this detail, so
Hmm.
these details, okay, these details. So this is the application. So there's some web technologies, web technologies like ASP.NET. Okay,
Okay.
there's some programming language like C Sharp or some Java or maybe Python. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's web technologies. So let's assume that this application is developed in the ASP.NET and C Sharp. So that code is written that when you enter the value on the form, okay,
Hmm.
so that will capture into your applications and that connect to your database,
Okay.
and it will
Okay.
store this data into your database. So this is not a
Hmm.
manual step. Okay, it's close to
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
what I was thinking.
yeah, perfect. No, really good question. Actually, I was because I know everything, but I'm not sure what you know or what you don't know, right? So that is really
Yeah.
good to ask the questions. You can ask the questions.
Hmm.
So you can call this as a web ASP.NET C Sharp.
So,
This is
do I need to know even these languages?
yeah. Really, again, a good question. Okay, so see, I will tell you now one thing. Okay, so now if you want to be web application web developer, okay, web developer.
I have learned this Python basics.
Perfect. No, that sounds good. Again, I will tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to be the web developers, you have to learn the web technologies, right? Web
Hmm.
technologies, right? So what are the web technologies that ASP.NET, C Sharp, then maybe React, Angular, JS, right? Those are the web technologies. Okay. These
Hmm.
are the web applications. There's some now to store this data into the database, you have to learn the database technologies, right? So let's say SQL, let's say MS SQL or Oracle or these are the again same like MS SQL, it's Oracle also RDMS. Okay, so
Okay.
so when you want to start your career, you can learn one technology and get your first job,
Hmm.
right? So
Okay.
let's say if you go with the SQL, if you learn
Hmm.
SQL, you can join as a SQL developer, SQL trainee, or something like that. So when I start my
Hmm.
career, I learn ASP.NET, C Sharp, and SQL, basic things of
Hmm.
all the basic of this, and
Yeah.
based on that I got the job. So initially for 4 years I work as a web developer, so I know ASP.NET, C Sharps, and how to connect to the database. But then
Okay.
I later I find my interest in the SQL, so I
Hmm.
work more on the SQL. So but just to clear one thing about because we are in SQL training, that's why I'm telling you,
Okay. Yeah.
even you can select SQL as your career path. Okay, in SQL also you can go, and in every project there are separate team for SQL, separate team for ASP.NET
Hmm.
as well. Okay, so
Okay.
you can
Okay.
go with one skill and you can be expertise. There is full stack developers.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the full stack developers?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they know the ASP.NET, C Sharps, and SQL as well, but that will come later better with your experience, but currently just focus
Got
on
it.
one skill and get your job done. So once you
Got
understand
it.
SQL, it will be easy for you to understand this programming language, that web technologies. Okay, so this is how you
Yeah.
can get this is the career path or job path that you can choose later. But no
Yeah.
matter you can be a web developer or you can be a data engineer. Okay, one of the
Hmm.
most important thing that is the database. Okay, you have to handle the
Hmm.
database. So if you are expert in the database, it will be plus point always for you. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so really good questions, right? Sounds great. So far so clear.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, now mm, we'll understand a few things, very interesting things now. Okay, how it's maintained this relationship between the customer and the order details. Okay,
Yeah.
because I want to show you something, a few things which is very interesting, because we are saying it's a relational database management system. There is relations between customer and customer order details, right? So
Hmm.
we executed this and we are saying there is relations between the customer ID and here customer ID. But we are going to see in the next session how this relation is going to be maintained. Actually, is there
Hmm.
really a relation? Because I can see that it's customer ID one, here it's customer ID one, that's why it's relations. But how SQL help to maintain this relationship? Because in the next video we'll going to understand, okay, sorry, in the next session
Yeah.
maybe, that I'm
Hmm.
going to add a one customer ID here is maybe three, but that customer ID is not available here. Okay,
Available. Yeah.
if I'm going
Hmm.
to add that customer ID, will it work or not? Let me know. Let me copy this. Okay, let's see one more customer. Let's say customer ID 3,
Hmm.
and if I this is 4, and he's also buying the laptop, let's say maybe 6 days back, and if I go in and insert this, will it work?
For customer ID, it should work, right?
uh, why it should work? Because see,
Because we are creating a table right now, so
hmm,
all the customer IDs are new, right?
yeah, right.
So it should work, I feel.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me in a real time, okay, that customer is not available in the customer table. Okay. So in a real time, if the customer is not logged
If,
into the
yeah,
Amazon,
yeah. If it's not in the table, then it is not available.
right? So, but
Yeah,
again, if I go here and if I execute this, it's inserting this record, right? So something is
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
right? So this is not a meaningful data, right? Because I
Uh,
am adding the customer ID 3, but that customer is not available here. So
yeah,
this is not a meaningful data. So we are
exactly.
saying SQL is, relational database management system. So
Mm.
how SQL is enforcing that relations? SQL
Mm.
should fail in this entry, right?